Šita pamoka, kurią dabar žiūrite, yra paimta iš mano naujo video reklamų montavimo kurso, kurį aš duodu savo 1-ant-1 mentorystės mokiniams. Jeigu turit klausimų apie jį, tai galite nueiti mano Instagramą ir parašykit man. Jeigu domina visas rytis, pasižiūrėjot video visą šitą kursą ir galvojate, okay, nu čia žiauriai įdomu, noriu pasibandyti, tai mano nuoroda Instagramo pačioje, tiesiog galite man prašyti per tenai. Truputį daugiau apie visą sritį ir kaip čia viskas atrodo. Tai video montavimas, specifiškai reklamų, turbūt yra geriausias sritis dabar apskritai internetu uždirbti. Gal paklausit kodėl? Tai paimkim situaciją. Paimkim, kad jūs dirbat logistikoje ir nusprendėt nusipirkti kažkokius mokymus dropshippingo, gal YouTube automationo ir nusipirko tos kursus, pradėjo daryti ir supratot, kiek daug tenais darbo reikia skirti, kad pradėtum uždirbti pinigus. Kiek kosmiškai daug reikia žinoti. Ir tiesiog pasidavėt ant to. Galimai, aš tokią situaciją paėmiau. Su video montavimu šito nėra, nes šiandien pirmas dalykas, mano kiekvienas mokinukas per pirmą mėnesį gavo pirmą savo klientą. Tai blogiausiu atveju aš daviau darbų arba tenais dar kažkas, bet visi turėjo savo klientą ir uždirbo pats ne 500 iki 1000 eurų vos ne per pirmą mėnesį. Kiti uždirbo dar daugiau. Dabar mano kai kurie mokinukai video montavimo uždirbo apie 5000 eurų per mėnesį, kas yra kosmosas. Bet esmė tame, kad kiekvienas mokinys, kuris nori uždirbti internetu ir pakeis savo dabartinę pilno etato poziciją, kurioje dirbat, čia yra geriausias rytis, nes aš galiu garantuoti, kad jūs uždirbsit. Nes video montuotojų, šitiem verslams, su kuriais aš dirbu, visada reikia, bent po 5, kai kartais 7, aišku, didesniems verslams aš kalbu, bet jeigu su jais dirbat, darbų visada turėsit, uždarbis irgi tikrai nemažas ir tiesiog galėsit įbrist į internetinį uždarbį ir iš to plėstis. Tai video montavimas labai geras beginner sugebėjimas ir daryti iki tenais 5000 eurų per mėnesį. Tada jau reikia galvoti, kaip plėstis, bet video montavimas šitą galimybę suteikia. Tai jeigu nori daugiau informacijos, mano Instagramo nuoroda apačioje, parašykit man, pasikalbam, pasižiūrim, ar galiu jums padėti, paaiškinkit savo situaciją ir tai einam į pamoką, turėsit klausimų apie ją, parašykit komentarus.
Hey, so in the last lesson we talked about the different types of ads and just introducing you into ads. Now we want to talk about the rules of video ad editing. What in all of the videos that I talked about must be, like when you edit the video, what rules you need to follow. And this will instantly make your editing just better if you understand these rules. So rule number 1, the visual must match the script. If we say, if you have ADHD and constantly forget to eat, we don't show a woman walking on a beach, because if you imagine this visual, it has nothing to do with ADHD. She's just maybe happy even. So how is this like to eating? It doesn't matter. But if it's for a man forgetting his lunch, man distracted at work, man skipping meals, it instantly just works together. So the first thing, what we say, we must show. So that's really, really important. To show the example, let's take the first video here. This one. I'm 45 and this is my result on GLP-1. After 2 weeks, minus 19 pounds. We instantly show her, the woman talking, walking, and okay, she's 45. Visual represent the audience. It's not like a 20-year-old man. It's a 45-year-old woman. This is my result on GLP-1. Okay, she's in good form. Okay, it makes sense. Then we go into, okay, in week 1, GLP-1, hit my face, we show her face. Hit my mood, we show her happy. I was 19 pounds down, we show her body and that she lost weight. 0 injections, 1 capsule, we show that it's a capsule. Now here, I kept hearing about Ozempic everywhere. And we show a cake. So how do these visuals, the visual and the text work? They don't. So that's, okay, instantly flagging the rule number 1. If we talk about Ozempic, let's maybe show Ozempic and maybe something like that. But also, I understand why they didn't show it, because just Facebook doesn't like it. So let's say just I kept hearing about Ozempic everywhere. Maybe she heard about side effects. Maybe she's like, maybe we would show like her scrolling, searching the web or something like that. Maybe showing her like working on a computer. And instantly, okay, she saw, so it makes sense because she saw on the internet. But then we talk about the side effects scared me. Side effects, we show her cutting food. The visuals just don't match with the text. So instantly in the side effects part, we show the side effects of Ozempic. If you don't know the side effects of Ozempic, just write it in Google, write it in Gemini, write it in ChatGPT, in Claude. Just try to understand what specifically is the side effect, and then show the side effect. So it would be nausea. It would be like no money to eat. It's a benefit, but it's also a minus. And maybe she's like just feeling bad. She's like bloating or something. I don't know. Like you just need to search it up and see, and then show the visual here, because then we go into. I looked into alternatives, but why would you look into alternatives if the only side effect of Ozempic is cutting food? You know, like it doesn't make sense. So of course, if you look only at the text, it makes sense. But the visual, and if you look only at the visual, it doesn't. So that's a thing. Okay, look for natural alternatives. We show our natural alternative. It's pretty good. And discover GLP-1. She rolls the bottle and shows the GLP-1. I was skeptical. We show her being skeptical, thinking. Then once I finally tried it, we show the capsules and that she tried it. I never looked back, tried 70% off, and you won't believe the result. And we show the result, her losing and looking pretty good. So the main thing is, if you have a visual, if you have a text about something, you just make sure to represent it. And yeah, that's the main thing, the first thing. Then rule number 1, match the audience. If the ad is for a man, show man. If the ad is for a woman, show woman. If the voiceover is male, usually show male visuals. Why? Usually, just because sometimes if the voiceover is male, he can talk about this gift was the best gift for my wife. And then we show like the wife visuals, the woman visuals with the gift. So it's just like if you're targeting husbands and maybe for Women's Day, or maybe, I don't know, sons trying to give to their mom or something like that, then you show the visual with a male voiceover with woman visuals. But most of the time it's going to be, if a male voiceover, then you show male visuals, and the same thing for women. Everything should feel consistent. If you look at this, if you have ADHD and constantly forget to eat, it doesn't really say what gender it is. And sometimes you will get scripts that don't explain it. You just don't know what the thing is. Is it a male? Is it a woman? You don't know. And then what you need to do, you take the script, you read it fully and try to understand. If you don't understand, you copy the script, write it into ChatGPT. Okay, is this more for male? Is this more for woman? Then sometimes it will say it mostly is for women, but it can be man, because it's gender neutral. In that case, as the strategist, is this more for male or is this more for women, if he hasn't specified? So that's really, really important, because if the strategist wanted to target a woman and we made it for men, it's just not going to really work. Rule 3, the hook must be obvious. What is a hook? Is the first 3 to 5 seconds of the video. So let's look at some ads and let's try to understand the hooks and if they're good or they're not good. I'm 45 and this is my result on GLP-1 after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I lost 19 pounds. We show the woman, we show her like in a bikini, or I don't know, what's this? It's not a bikini, probably it's like a swimming suit. And then like, yeah, like, okay, she looks pretty good, and it's the visuals, the text is appearing interestingly enough for people to view. So it's a pretty good hook. Then we look at an ad like this. I actually don't really like this hook because we show her feet, and the only thing that's visually appealing is the text. But also, the rule here, the hook must be obvious. So the first frame, the first couple of seconds, the first frame and the first couple of seconds need to show what is the video gonna talk about, who's it for, and why should they care. Bad hook is a random aesthetic footage. Good hook, clear visual, clear text, clear problem. And yeah, so this is a good hook, and this is what I would recommend like looking at. 2026 scam to watch for, and we show Rosabella product. So if a viewer is a person who wanted to buy Rosabella but hasn't, and maybe looked at alternatives, maybe found some on Amazon and wanted to buy them, it's pretty interesting because, okay, she starts to watch. The first frame is the Rosabella product, and it's called a scam. It's interesting. Like if you wanted to buy it, okay, it's interesting. Then we mentioned the 4 products, and the hook is instantly interesting because the person understands who's is like let's say a woman who wanted to buy Rosabella is now interested in buying it and understands now that, okay, these are scams. Then what isn't, and why is this a scam? Like, what is the explanation here? Because she's saying this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, and this is fake. And this is the 2026 scam to watch for. Also, sometimes strategists won't give you these words, and you will only have this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, and this is fake. And now think, if we replace this text with this is fake, this is fake, this is fake, and this is fake, firstly, the text won't change. It's just going to be the same one, so it's not going to be interesting. Secondly, why, like, does it add anything to the video? No. Does this add to the video? 2026 scam to watch for. Okay, it's relevant because it's 2026. It's a scam, so I don't want to get scammed. And the visual is instantly Rosabella product, and it's called the scam. Okay, this is relevant to me. That's why I watched the video. So this, like, sometimes you can add text yourself, and most of the time I would really recommend adding text like this from the first frame, so I can instantly understand what the visual and the video is going to talk about. Month 1, postpartum. I thought breastfeeding would fix it. Okay, so instantly, postpartum, breastfeeding, something about breastfeeding. Okay, it's interesting. So what's the situation here? The visual doesn't really explain it, but since I'm postpartum also, let's say I'm a woman postpartum and I'm breastfeeding, I'm interested. Like, what is the problem here? Maybe I also have it. And we show her like maybe a bit fatter. Okay, I'm pretty interested. Like if I'm a woman postpartum and I'm breastfeeding, okay, this is interesting. And what we say here, weight would come off. So okay, we explained that this is about weight. Interested if I'm a relevant audience, if I'm breastfeeding postpartum and I wanted to lose weight and it's not dropping, this is interesting. So yeah, this is the hook. If I'm relevant, if it's relevant to me, I'm interested. I'm watching this. So that's pretty good. Okay, this visual instantly. If I'm interested in this visual, like if I'm a woman postpartum, they want to lose weight, and I see a belly talking, and I want to lose belly weight, maybe I'm watching it. So let's see what the text is. Okay, if I'm a postpartum tummy, if I have a postpartum tummy, I'm pretty interested. But also from the first frame, what you see is only the face on a belly. Would this hook me? This hook could be better. Maybe you add a text. Maybe you add something like this. Maybe you add something like this. And instantly it makes the hook better because it just looks more interesting. So maybe postpartum belly mistake, something like that. You add it, instantly I'm more interested because I instantly know what we're talking about. So this is the example that I'm talking about when the strategist doesn't give you the text, the extra text. He only gives you my postpartum tummy here. Maybe myself, I'm thinking, okay, I want to add something more because this visual doesn't, if I'm not interested in the animation, because we are betting fully on the animation that it will stop the person viewing, we should add the headline because it's just gonna be better. So make sure to do that. Okay, then this. What is this video about? Like, what would you say this video is about from this? This variable, okay, something variable, something's happening here. Would you say that this is about sleep? Me personally, I wouldn't. But if you watch the video, this is of course a older ad, and this type of styles of ads are not as popular right now. But still, like, would you say that this is about sleep? I wouldn't, because like she's sitting here and just putting on the product. So it isn't bad. It's still interesting just because the visuals change so quickly. But really, like, it isn't for sleep. Like maybe, okay, you want to show the product since it's a product aware ad, because this variable can be the best thing for your sleep. Okay, we instantly want to show the product. So then why not just do a split screen? Let's do a split screen. Let's show the woman catching it here and then a person sleeping. It's going to be it's instantly relevant to sleep. Okay, then Ozempic body is real. If I tried Ozempic and I have an Ozempic body and like I'm pretty sad, or I'm thinking about Ozempic and I want to get educated about it, this is hooking for me. I'm instantly interested in watching it. Then this hook, it's like a very good example about the rule that I said here. If you look at it, not losing weight even when breastfeeding, question mark, and then a pregnant lady. And then if we remove this text, imagine that it's not here. It says the same thing, but the first frame, I thought that. Does it stop me scrolling? It doesn't. So I'm instantly just thinking, okay, how do I make the visual represented? How do I make the first frame stoppable? Because if we're talking about moms here, because about breastfeeding and about weight loss, why not show her with a baby here? Okay, she's on a podcast. It doesn't really work. Okay, that idea is out of the box. Then let's maybe, instead of this text, let's add her visuals with the baby. Let's add a photo with the baby. Let's maybe show her with the baby here, and let's show her like maybe looking in the mirror and looking like maybe a bit fatter or something like that. Okay, it's instantly represent the visual and I understand it. If we're not adding text, these are some ideas. But also not losing weight even when breastfeeding. If I'm in the situation, I'm interested. And then the visual, the text, the script, and the thing represents and is pretty hooking for people. So it's pretty good. Then let's see this one. We couldn't show her the first frame. Couldn't here just we dropped the idea of showing her with a baby because it's a podcast. In this case, since the video is not with a podcast, it instantly relates to the idea and the hook is pretty good. So in this case, she's being a mom. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, if I'm a mom and I'm watching this, oh, okay, she's sad. Why is she sad? What's the thing? Okay, I see this. Then I read the text. Your body stopped burning fat the day you gave birth. If I'm relating to this, if I'm interested, if it hooks me, okay, that's good. But would a drunk 45-year-old male watch this? No, it wouldn't, because it's not for that audience. So the same thing is, if I'm a mom, maybe a couple months after giving birth, and I'm not really losing the fat that I thought I would lose after giving birth, I'm watching this. Like, I'm interested in this. So yeah, that's basically how you make hooks. Just make the hook obvious. Just instantly from the first frame, make it understandable what we're talking about. Then rule number 4, simplicity beats creativity. Many beginners try to be more creative, too many transitions, too many effects, too many animations. But the main thing is also just to be simple. We don't need to be Instagram reel type of editing. It's most of the time in Facebook ads, it's for an older audience. Sometimes, of course, if it's a product like, I don't know, if you sell nicotine pouches or something like that, then it's I guess for a younger audience. And then you make it more like with the transitions, effects, animations. But even at that stage, our goal is to communicate our message and sell to people that are interested in the product. And if you look at these ads, there's pretty much no effects. We have music to represent the emotion, voiceover, and visuals. That's it. And this ad is very good to communicate the emotion that I want the woman to watch to feel. So that's the main thing. No transitions. Sometimes you can add them when it's needed, but look how good it is. The main thing is to communicate the message. So sometimes you bold some text, you make it like the big letters. Maybe you add more text to communicate the message. You show the visual. Our goals as ad editors is to communicate messages. This is performance editing, you know? So you add bigger text, you add something like this, just to make it more interesting, but also to communicate the message. Rule number 5, captions must be easy to read. So this one is pretty hard to read for me. Like it's kind of fights, the text kind of fights with the visual background. But in this case, I'm in favor of that. Because if I'm a mom watching this, firstly, I want to see that, okay, this is for moms and she's sad. I'm interested what's happening here. And then I'm trying to read the text. It's kind of hard to read, but also I'm going to read it. Like it's easy enough to read it. So, okay, that's pretty good. Then let's see. Okay, this is easy to read. White text on a darker background, easy to read. Pretty easy. Here it's pretty bad because we hide her face, and the main visual part of this is her face and this, and we hide it with the caption. So we either make this visual maybe zoomed in a bit more to make her face here, and just do not make it. But overall, the captions are easy to read. This one's hard to read because the visual background is so messed up, but it's also not bad enough to really change something. Okay, yeah. So in this one, like it's pretty hard to read, but also it's pretty good. But you see how small the text is. Yeah, I just wanted to check the main thing. Okay, save zones be large enough, have high contrast, stay consistent. Yeah. Tiny text. This one also I want to flag because sometimes tiny text is pretty good. In this case, it's like the perfect size. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's easy to read, while also not being too much to be annoying. But also you see, like, if the visual is boring, we show more text. And then it's instantly, you have something to look at. And when we show some interesting visual, then we show less text. It's not always the case, but yeah. Then let's say captions like this. This is also the main caption I always recommend using because it's so easy to read always. Even with this background, it's still easy to read. Nothing messes up with the background. Imagine in this case, let's say we have this text here on this guy. White background, like white t-shirt with white text, it's just gonna be so hard to read that I wouldn't add those captions. But yeah, like I recommend these. This is Proxima Nova regular, I think, font or medium, and then you add the white background. So it's pretty easy. You can do it with Premiere Pro super easily, and I love these captions. So yeah, let's see these captions. These are very interesting type of ads for I think like in Reels, like Alex Hormozy style captions. I think these are something like that. So also very good captions. These are like 2024 type of captions. I used to create these types of ads. And yeah, but also the white Proxima Nova font, white text. The style, this style is also very good. It's still not too small. It maybe looks kind of small, like the captions, but it's easy enough to read. It's, to be honest, it's better to make the captions smaller than bigger. Like, it's better to make them smaller than bigger. Yeah. These captions are very nice. But like, as you see here, like, that's what I want to flag. Like, it's not like the white text on a gray t-shirt. It's kind of like questionable because it's on that line where it's too hard to read, but also it's good enough. So yeah, it's interesting. But this one, also very good, a very popular style, Proxima Nova, with instead of a white background, we make the white text and a black outline. Also very popular style, and also I would recommend using it. Like, it's the same one, it's just like a different font. I don't know what font is this. Maybe Poppins or something like that. Honestly, no idea. But yeah. Also, save zones. You can use these save zones. The main thing is always in the visual. The main idea is to always show the main visual in this save zone. So this is a 19 by maybe 9 by 16 captions. Sorry, save zones. So that means that in this square, you should add everything. You always make sure the visual, that like the product is in this frame. Like, these captions maybe already be hidden. If you look at this, it's maybe like somewhere here. I would like to make them and always add them into here, because as you see, profile name hides it, likes, comments, shares, those hide it. Some buttons here, the headline here, it just can add it, hide it sometimes. Also, make sure to leave a gap to the corner. Like, it should be like, when you add visuals, it should be like from here to here. So don't add it straight to the corner, because the Facebook kind of cuts it off most of the time. Like a couple of, like a half a millimeter, it's cut off when it added to Facebook. So make sure to make the faces always in these save zones. Don't make the faces here, because then it's gonna be like a chin here and not the face, and like the chin is talking but the visual is not showing. So save zones are very, very important. And let's even look at save zones here. Look at this. This is in a save zone. It's gonna be visible always. The product is also always gonna be visible. Her face is always gonna be visible because it's not too high. It's also not too low, and it's gonna be good. Also, all of the photos, all of the main visuals are added on top. Then the captions here in the save zones. Everything is in the save zones that needs to be shown. So yeah, like maybe this one is out of the save zones, but also like it's I think is good. So yeah, save zones are very important. Make sure captions are in there, also visuals. Let me make a pause. I'm really thirsty. Okay, rule number 6: never leave dead space. If captions disappear, the pacing usually feels slow. Keep momentum throughout the video. Every second should communicate something. What I mean here is to not make pauses. So as we see in all of these ads, from the first frame, it's always something happening. So let's say from the first frame, you instantly see her talking.
Your body stopped burning fat the day you gave birth. Here's why. After you give birth, a hormone...
So like always, every single second has its own job, and there's no big pauses. Let's say in this ad, it's a bit different.
Oh, hi.
Pause, like a big pause. The hook has like, oh, hi, like it's an introduction, and then it has the gap of nothing happening. So I don't like it, but it's also like how AI generated it.
Postpartum tummy here. Can I explain something before everyone blames me? Apparently, breastfeeding burns 500 calories a day. So,
wow, like super big pause. It's also because of AI, so you cannot like blame the editor here, but like it's too big of a pause than I want it to be. So I would cut it out. And to make sure like all of these pauses are like a huge pause. I want like script to be finishing the sentence, instantly starting another and another and another, just like this, no breaths. But of course, this is like showing her like breathing, gasping, or like what's the name of this? Well, like showing her emotion basically, and it's good enough to show the emotion. Maybe it's kind of like sometimes better to make the caps not as big, not as small, sorry. So you show the emotion. But most of the time, if you make ads like this, like her talking, then you make it.
This is fake, this is fake, and this is definitely fake. Whatever you do not get scammed buying these fake products. I have the official Beatrice.
Yeah, like you see, like it instantly cuts. If the editor didn't cut it out, then it's kind of bad. So make sure the gaps are really small and close together. Rule 7: use music to support the message. Music should match the emotion. Don't use epic music for a common video, and stuff like that. I could show examples. I think it makes sense. Like if I'm talking about, let's see an example. This one doesn't have music. I'm always back to this ad. I like it.
Is to tell your body to hold on to fat, to store, to protect. But here's the part almost no one catches. At the exact...
It represents the effect, like she's sad and stuff like that happens, and then music kind of switches the mood to a bit more happy. So when we talk about like bad stuff, we add bad music. So most of the times ads will be the first parts, something about like something's bad, pain points, I'm hurting, I'm bad, something's bad. And then the other gap is I'm selling this product, buy it. And in this part, we make it all happy, a bit more epic and good, but also not epic music if the style, if a woman like here, she's talking slowly, we add the slow music to match the vibe, match the emotion. So that's the main idea. You can find like music in websites like pexels.com, I think, and pixabay.com, and just copyright-free music, because we don't want to use copyrighted music. If you want to use copyrighted music, a good way to do that is to reverb it. You just can reverb it on a reverber on the internet, and just or just Premiere Pro, so it doesn't catch. Also, you can use only the instrumentals of the copyrighted music, and if you reverb it and change the pitches or stuff like that, then it's not going to flag you, so you can also use that. Rule 8: audio balance matters. So always, when you have this, the audio thing, music should be -24 to 30. So in this gap, voiceover needs to be from -6 to -12. It shouldn't be louder, it shouldn't be quieter. Sound effects around 18, so maximum up to here. If it's higher than this, like the sound effect, like a pop, pop, or swish, that sound effect, let's make it up to 18 up to decibels. Music should be around here, voiceover around here. Rule number 9: every visual needs a purpose. So why is this clip here? If you don't know, remove it. Random footage shows performance. As we talked about the Ozempic footage, as we talked about the side effect footage, if we're talking about side effects, show a side effect, not cutting food. So this is very important. Clarity evidence: the best editors are not the most creative, they're the clearest. I already talked about it, but the viewer immediately needs to understand the problem, if he's the correct audience, and is this the correct solution for him. So that's very, very important. And that's the main goal of our ads. Then for rule number 1, correct size. If you wanted to make this ad, we use this size. If you want to make this size, then this size. Just like make sure, like sometimes the strategist will add, I want to create a 16:9 ad. Then you can just check this out. Okay, this size. Then you add it to Premiere Pro, and you'll see the correct size. But sometimes when you add your own visuals, the visuals will be 4K or a lower quality, and then you need to personally yourself change the pixel size just because it's going to be incorrect. So make sure you do that, because it kind of messes up the video. Like you edit it for 2 hours and then you see, oh, the size is incorrect. Oh my God, I need to now spend like 15 minutes clearing it up. It isn't a big thing. It's just like a time waster and a bit of annoyance. So make sure you double check it before starting editing. Then for sourcing footage, the biggest mistake, most beginners use Pexels, Envato, Storyblocks. Like, imagine you're betting, like professional cameras shooting you and like walking and like professionally. That footage is horrible for ads that we want to create. We want to show something that's real, something that maybe feel organic, something that works on like on a platform like TikTok. A person would film it and post it there. That's why when we want to source footage that we don't have, either we just generate it with AI, some specific videos that you cannot find on TikTok or YouTube, like some specific situations, like for example, I'm creating an ad for a basketball product, and our like positioning is personal coaches are too expensive. Then you of course can just show like some TikTok footage of a personal coach. Okay, but then another pain point is team basketball, like when the coach coaches the whole team, he coaches like them showing like some specific thing for them all, so they all do in sync. But he doesn't work with one single guy, like one single player. And we want to show that visually. Then maybe use AI just to represent that situation. And then client UGC, of course, when he films something with the product, just to use it. So these are the only places where you can find footage. Maybe, of course, Facebook, but just make sure you don't use that vetting type of professional videos. And why we avoid professional B-roll, it just often creates more problems. It looks like an ad and people skip ads. Instead, we want authenticity, relatability, native content, native to Facebook, native to TikTok, native to YouTube, just organic. People want to feel a connection with the person speaking and selling to them. The footage should feel like someone the viewer would naturally see in their feed, not something they would see in a Hollywood commercial.
Tai ir vėl primenu, mano nuoroda Instagramo apačioje, jeigu domina daugiau sužinoti apie visus mokymus ir apie visą šitą video montavimo sritį. O daugiau informacijos gali susirasti šiaip mano YouTube profilį, prikėlęs daug video apie visą šitą sritį, apie uždarbį internetu ir tiesiog apie reklamų kūrybą. Tai jeigu domina, visą informaciją apačioje ir toliau galite, kaip ir sakiau, pasiklausinėti daugiau informacijos.